Greetings, members of Kettle and Stony Point First Nation. My name is Mary Johnson. Oh, wait, sorry. My name is Mary Johnson, Gina, to most of you guys. This is what a real community update looks like, by the way. I want to share with you guys the events that unfolded last Friday in Stony Point, as a lot of you guys weren't there and have no knowledge of what transpired down there. We were fed up. We were tired of watching other nations trying to come into our community, set up shop with some really shady people. And most of you have seen the footage where they took up arms against people in our own community. And these are the kind of people that are being allowed in our community. That's unacceptable. We didn't go down there with the intention to burn anything at all. And I'm not a violent person, and anybody out there that knows me knows I'm not a violent person. And I can't speak to what the contractors were doing in that building, but when they left, it was already on fire. And if you weren't there, you have no right to pass judgments just because of what you may think you've seen on social media. I'm here to tell you that that was not our intention or anybody that I was with down there. Our focus was to get these outsiders, and as the footage shows, not one person at that building was a member of our community at all. In fact, they took up arms against one of our members of our community. And we just won't sit back idly by and watch this happen. There's been a number of issues that have taken place since then. Most current, I attended a meeting today and yesterday as well that didn't go over, so it didn't go over. It just didn't go over. Our chief point blank lied to one of our most senior, respected elders of our community. We sat there for over 2 hours waiting for this meeting to proceed, and he told Bonnie Brissette, and the footage will show, you'll get to watch that later. He told us that he was waiting for a microphone so that everybody could be heard, waiting for a PA system to be set up. Complete lie. Jason lied to every single one of us as we sat down there. It's very hot. I don't know why he would bring, why Bonnie had to sit there in horrible weather conditions, but he misled our entire group, saying he was waiting for a PA system to be set up. In fact, he wasn't. He was waiting for his lawyer. His name was Julian Faulkner. That he was flying in from wherever Julian's flying from into the Grand Bend airport. I didn't even know Grand Bend had an airport, but we footed the bill for that, I'm sure. And he brought him in as a mediator. I don't know what there is to mediate. No weed shots. Let's get the land cleaned up and returned to our people. And you'll also see, and the footage to follow, Bonnie sharing her disheartening experience. And the things that she has endured and suffered at the hands of the government, we'll say. And this Mr. Julian Faulkner came to visit uh, me and Phoebe and another close friend of ours. And he was down here, hired by our First Nation. I don't think he leaves the office for less than $50,000 to mediate something that's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. But yet he's down here in our community, going to several people in our community here and in Stony Point. There's nothing to negotiate. There's nothing to mediate. And you'll also see in later footage from today's meeting, D&D wasn't even at the meeting today. There was Jason single-handedly in 1 year has done what we've been working for as a community, that Bonnie's been working for the last 50 years or more. He single-handedly, boom, everything's off the table. Everything is off the table. He single-handedly destroyed what we are working for, what we were working for, by his non-action. And then to have the audacity to blame COVID? You call all the papers up and say, oh, they're just kind of, we're having a rough time because of COVID? Like heck. All of that was because of your inability to take care of this right from the get-go. I have a letter dated almost a year to date when they went down there and shut everybody out from going to work down there and put many people, took bread off their table. And then when it came time for EI, they were disqualified because they didn't have enough hours. He could have stopped this a year ago when I submitted a letter to Chief and Council. All of this could have been avoided if he had done the right thing and allowed no weed shop so that we could continue to clean up the land, have our people taken care of down there. All their roofs leak, lead piping for their drinking water, asbestos-filled buildings. Most of them are probably rat-infested buildings. And here we are at a standstill. 10 times worse 1 year later because Jason allowed the one weed shop to start. And then boom, this is where we're at today. I'm an open book. Yeah, some of you people out there, oh yeah, she's just crazy. She's just a drunk. She's just this. She's just that. Come on. Yeah, I've been an alcoholic. I've been a drug addict, but I'm a child of the good Lord above. And I will fight for our people till the end. And I will not sit back and just watch all this unfold. And there's a lot of, I'm not here to dispute lineage or who is the hereditary chief. The entire community knows that title belongs to my brother, Pat Johnson. In his absence, that falls on my shoulder. And my brother has taken this time to get his health in check. And until he returns to the table, sorry, you get to deal with me. And okay. And so the events of last weekend have nothing to do with COVID, Sir Jason Henry. I don't even think you deserve the title, but anyways, that's irrelevant. Sorry, you may have to edit that. There's a lot of, it's a really tense moment in our community right now. And the fact that that pot shop reopened is gonna weigh heavily on a lot of community members that I have no control over. And if we as a community sat and watched Glennie and Waldo, who, by the way, were down there getting shot at, as I was, walk to Ottawa. No, they didn't walk to Ottawa, but I was on the walk to Ottawa 3.5 weeks. I helped walk some of the grandmothers through the gate as well. But Waldo and Glennie deserve to be able to have some sort of business down there and be self-sufficient. And if we as a community had watched them start up from scratch, like we watched Elwood, who's been self-sufficient for 14 years, and then watch these other people just come over and take over on his business, on his spot, that's unacceptable. But if we had sat there and watched Waldo hammer away, working at it every day, I can guarantee this would not have happened. If we would watch Glennie out there, but instead you guys hire outside contractors or whatever. Oh, and then there's nothing wrong with having outside contractors come in, by the way. But you're bringing in people to take up arms against our own people? I'm going to draw, yeah. I'm at a loss for words there. I truly am. But I truly believe that Waldo and Glennie, because they have been there since day one, fighting for this, like we all have been, they deserve to have a business. But the entire community, both communities, have sat back and watched other people build this business, run this business, and don't see those guys down there working though. And yeah, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate mail over this, but whatever. Waldo and Glennie have my respect. And they should be entitled to something. And the events of last weekend were unfortunate. And that's all I got to say about that. They were unfortunate. But I can guarantee that fire was not set by anybody that I went down there with. And I will continue. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I will continue to fight for our community, to get it cleaned up, to have it returned to our people. Because now we're already set back 2 years because of everything that was perpetuated last year, and now here we are going into a new year. Now we're already, the government tells us 20 years before we're going to get this property back into our name. Well, okay, now we're at 22 years. So I'm pretty much going to have to pass this torch to my son, and hopefully, maybe one day, our children can go and set up shop down there before it's clean and start a family down there. But 20 years, that's unacceptable. We need to come together. And this is exactly what the government wants to see, is us fighting amongst each other. That has to stop. Thank you for your support or your non-support, but thanks for watching. Peace, love. God bless all yes.
It's nice and breezy today. It wasn't yesterday.
Cool, at least.
So, first of all, I'm not going to be addressing the mediation agreement at this point, but I will soon. I wanted to explain to you where we're at in terms of what we've been doing today, and then what we sort of hope to accomplish as we go forward. I'm not prepared to do discussions that are being taped. I'd mentioned that yesterday when we talked. So,
Well, I'm not here to sign any oath of confidentiality whatsoever. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not. Well, I'm not going to stay long either.
Oh, okay.
I'm not interested at all. Jason Henry, you have managed in 1 year to undermine what we as a community have been fighting for 50 years or more by allowing all of this to go on. I came to Chief and Council, produced letters to Chief and Council a year ago asking you guys to stop all this. And now here we are exactly 1 year later. And now what, the shop is already reopened and back up for business down there. 1 year you have managed to undermine everything that we have fought for 50 years or more. That's why Bonnie left here in tears yesterday. And you go around parading these guys in our community, coming onto our properties, looking for resolution. Over my dead body. And I'm not here, Jesse, to negotiate or find out. I'm not, my lineage is undisputable. Undisputable. And I'm not here to discuss lineage. We were here to discuss outsiders coming into our community, setting up shop. Yeah. Waldo and Glennie, absolutely. They were there getting shot at along with me. Just in case some of you may have forgotten. I don't remember seeing you down there getting shot at, fighting for our community, walking to Ottawa, walking our grandmothers through the gates. But in 1 year, Jesse, I'm not speaking with you right now, please.
Well, no, Gina,
I'm not here speaking. I'm not speaking with you yet. Here,
Gina,
no,
Gina,
Jason is
Gina,
going to hear
no,
this.
I'm
not here.
Gina, I'm putting an end to this now. Now, if you would like to talk to people in a respectful way, we want to talk.
No, well, I'm not. I'm
here
just
to,
here. I'm not here to sit and mediate nothing. I'm not here to sit here and mediate nothing.
No,
I'm not sitting here to. I'm not. No, I'm not staying.
Nope.
And I am not responsible as to what's going to happen next. Those pot shops are down there reopened. That's on you.
Gina, wait a second. What lineage are you talking about?
I'm not here. We're not here to discuss lineage. We're not here to discuss lineage. I'm not here to discuss that. Not here to discuss that.
Hello, Ani, everybody. Phoebe here.
Still me.
Here with my co-partner, and I'm here also to speak to some things that have been going on in the community, things that have been traveling back to me, some of the messages I have been receiving, and things that I have been reading or hearing. As Gina here has stated that no, together we do not condone or perpetuate violence of any sort. And I specifically would like to speak to that matter too as well for myself, that I don't condone violence, and most people who know me know that. And I work with vulnerable people for a living, so that means I can't be violent. I shouldn't be violent by nature. But for my own purposes in this, I went around with Gina, you know, supporting her through this and this endeavor that she has taken on for our community. And while speaking to our elders, you know, our elders who grew up in that community, what spoke to my heart to be there in Stony Point that day was watching one of our most respected elders, as she spoke about, Bonnie Brzett, expressing her concerns and watching her shed tears now multiple times over this issue, and seeing other elders express their concerns and their heartache over what they see happening in Stony Point. And that day in Stony Point, I was approached, as you can see in the video, and there was comments being made to me personally by members who live in Stony Point, remarking about how I don't belong there, how I shouldn't be there. But the truth is, I am in this fight for my community, for the good of the people as a whole, because we are a community and we cannot move any further and we cannot thrive unless we do that as a community. And I do owe some personal apologies to people who I reacted in the heat of the moment to, because I have trauma. Since I was a kid, I was told I was not welcome in Stony Point by several members of this community and several members of Stony Point, simply because my father is who he is. You know, and that in itself is sad when everybody works towards unity and everybody says that, you know, they're in this for the fight of everybody. Well, I truly am in the fight for this for everybody, because regardless of how everybody looks at me and my lineage and who I'm related to, I look beyond that. I look beyond the hatred that people feel from me, because I love my community and everybody who is in it. I appreciate all of the sacrifices that have been paid to that land. I appreciate everybody's fight for that land as a whole, because that's how we get things done as a community, as a people. And that's why I am here fighting for each and every one of you. I have nothing to gain in this. You know, my home is here in Kettle Point. I'm proud to be a Kettle and Stony Point member. I don't feel I own Stony Point. I don't want to own Stony Point, but
nobody can own Stony Point. It belongs to us as a whole.
And my point is this, is that, as Gina has said, we would not be sitting here as if Chief Henry, if you would have done your job to the people like you had said you would when you started this endeavor, when you started your term, you promised to be there for the people. And since you have been in term, you have done nothing but prove to us that you are working against your people.
I have actually never ever seen or nor heard of a chief that is more against his people. Like, our entire community has been calling for some help.
Resolution. We need help here. And the events happening through that day and the way Chief Henry created a false narrative and a false dialogue to the media when he wasn't there for most of the day shows exactly, and the actions that we have had to deal with him in the past couple days, but I'm sorry if the truth hurts some of you. That is not our intention, but the people need to know what is going on in this community. We sit in the dark. We've had no band meetings for the past 2 years. We have no movement in our community.
I don't even know that we have, could I have the minutes from the last band meeting?
Can we?
Or the council meeting, sorry. Could
Yeah.
I physically sit here and read the council minutes?
And again,
I don't believe there's any took in.
No.
Point in case. Today's meeting, there was no minutes took in. There is no proof that even today's meeting even existed, because they try to silence us. And I wasn't having that, because I want to be transparent. I want our community to know what's going on behind closed doors.
why we do what we do is for full transparency purposes, whether some people like it or not, because our leadership fails to do that like they promised. The signs, the never-ending signs of transparency that we saw everywhere, yet we're sitting here in the dark forever.
Yeah.
So why, once again, has Chief and select council members, why did you vote against elections for COVID? When our reserve is open, you removed our checkpoints, your business is open, and in phase 2, as of today.
But yet, and you'll see the video footage to this as well, we're accused of harassing Jay's family. You'll see that that's not true.
Right here.
Hey, are we allowed in the store yet? Yeah. So it's open for everyone? All right, awesome, thank you.
Absolutely.
But we went and we took footage of our community-run gas station.
Yep.
They're still under lock and key.
Videoing. Curbside pickup. Please call. And it says here that you still have to come out and get curbside pickup, and it is June 25th. The province is still supposed to be going to phase 2.
I just was looking for clarification. Our KP gas station is not completely open for business, correct?
Doors aren't open.
All right. No, because I'm just curious, because our chief's family-owned business is fully operational, open for business, but yet ours is not. I just wanted clarification on that, that's all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't come into the store right now, right?
No.
All right. No, that's all I
And you
needed.
can only pay at the pump, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But our
So-
chief's family-run business is wide open. All right.
All right.
No.
Thanks, guys,
Okay, thanks.
for that clarification. Pay at the pump. We went to
Our
all of our
country
business.
style.
Why? Right here. Again, phase 2. only open for curbside pickup still. People are still not allowed to walk inside of our businesses. So that's all. We're just wondering.
We're still the business is still closed for public to come into the dining room. Yes. Okay. Any word on when they're gonna reopen that?
I have no idea. I don't have the plexiglass in place in here yet. So I'm waiting for my contractor to get it in. But I don't know.
Is that coming out of your pocket?
It would be out of the budget for Country Style, yes.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just curious. Okay,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Tammy. And Key. We went down to Al's Gas and Variety to see if Jay's family-owned business was fully operational. You can go freely in and out of the store.
Absolutely. So
And our traditional chief, you'll see his solution to clear up the ongoing toxic environmental disaster that's happening at his gas station. Still, nothing done about it. Nothing. And
sorry, but Jason, solely the matters that have happened up until leading to Friday, if you would have stepped in and if you could agree with your people for once, and if you could have a backbone and step in and actually say you are for your people, we would not be sitting in this mess.
Yeah.
Because you agree with everybody you come against. And you can't sit there and say, yes, this is the right thing to do. It seems you have an inability to do that when it comes to the right thing. You proved that in front of our community members when you said you were going to do the right thing last Friday. And you failed to do that in front of multiple community members once again, proving who you are. Not just hearsay, not just us gossiping. We see it. And many people see it actually. Your actions speak louder than your words, sir. I am sorry.
your inaction.
Your inaction speaks louder than your
I
words.
think is more appropriate. And this really sucks. It really,
does.
really does. And
It's disheartening to see that our community is in such turmoil and that people are fighting and that we got here when we are trying to do the right thing.
I know there's a lot of community members and people that are in Jay's favor, and like everybody's entitled to their opinion. But oh my gosh, open your eyes, people. You know.
Please.
I just. Oh my gosh, I'm dumbfounded at best some days, and the fact that we have to keep doing this over and over, and our counselors, come on. I spoke with one of our counselors, and apparently all of our counselors are on board with no pot shops in Stony. So why is this even up for debate? Because I thought our chief listened to his counselors. Why is this even up for debate?
It's because
And I know all of them watch I know all you guys watch them, whether it's Joe Black or whoever you're watching on your wives or whatever. I know each and every one of our counselors are watching all of this stuff. But well, we're going to take a new approach this time, a different approach. And I think it's really cool that we've had several media sources reach out to us. But it took the events of Stony Point for them to reach out and say, hey, what the actual heck is going on down there? Well, we'll tell you what the actual heck is going on down there. Come on down. Mm-hmm. And we're going to post the letter that I posted a year ago addressing Chief and Council. Never heard anything from them. And here we are a year later. Way worse. And just to clarify, the events that happens at Medicine of the Earth had nothing to do with what happened earlier on that day. That had nothing to do with us. Just for clarification, because I know there's a lot of people out there that are thinking, oh my gosh, they went down there and they burnt the building, and then they moved down there, and somebody almost got murdered, and blah blah. That had nothing to do with us, by the way. But if you have questions, just ask.
Yes.
Pretty much everybody knows where I live.
I'm an open book as well.
Yeah.
You can approach me. I'm a pretty easy and peaceful person to talk to if you're not yelling at me or telling me I don't belong in certain places. You know, just approach me in an honest and open way, and I'm pretty well receiving to most people who are open to talk and honest talk.
Yeah.
I welcome it.
So we're just gonna, we're not trying to,
Blame anybody. We're not accusing. We just wanted to address these issues because they are coming at us right now.
Yeah.
Full force. So.
And not even gonna say it. Don't panic, eat panic. But anyways, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And
Until next time, much love to you, my community, and respect to each and every one of you.
Don't panic, eat bannock.